Okay, hello. I just wanted to do another video tonight because there's some major stories coming out about Arizona that I want to make sure people are aware of. So one thing, if you are not aware, that just came out today or yesterday, that in True Pundit, I'm looking at the story. I will put the link on underneath this, but top never Trumpers tied to politician indicted for human smuggling and selling of children. Okay, so just yesterday, this came out, and the names of some largest GOP critics of President Donald Trump are surfacing in the investigation of a politician indicted this week on charges of fraud, human smuggling, selling children, forgery, conspiracy, and ripping off the Arizona healthcare cost containment system. Maricopa County Assessor Paul Peterson has been indicted in Arizona, Utah, and Arkansas on state and federal charges that he is running an illegal adoption ring. Okay, so I'm going to include the article underneath this. In all, he's facing, so his name is Paul Peterson he's a senator out of, Maricopa County Assessor. Okay, so in all, he's facing 62 criminal charges involving dozens of pregnant women bought in from the Marshall Islands to supply babies to Peterson's clients and millions to his bank account. Yes, this involves human trafficking. The U.S. Attorney for Western Arkansas said Wednesday at a press conference where he announced the federal indictments, but what is not public until now is Peterson's curious association with the GOP critics of President Trump, including former U.S. Senator Jeff Flake, the late Senator John McCain, and Senator Mitt Romney, among others. Peterson also campaigned for and is friends with Arizona Governor Doug Ducey and other politicians, according to records and sources. Peterson's association with Flake, who recently resigned from the Senate, is perhaps the most curious. Peterson's alleged schemes involved securing pregnant women from the Marshall Islands. Flake is somewhat famous for his much-hyped personal trips to the Marshall Islands. Senator Flake has trekked to the Marshall Islands at least 4 times, including once to film a reality survival show while he was in the Senate. Peterson's reference in 2013 to being invited on a Marshall Island trip with Flake is something that promises to pique the interest of state and federal investigators. Any investigator worth their salt would want to know what else Jeff Flake was doing on these trips to the Marshall Islands, said Thomas Paine of True Pundit. Okay, so this just came out. I'm going to include these articles. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to make sure that I include all the prevalent information. Peterson is mentioned in a news piece detailing McCain using his influence to secure $15 million in federal funds linked to land purchase in Maricopa County to benefit a large political mega donor who piped almost $225,000 into McCain's coffers. Is there questionable land deals to be probed? The indictment against Peterson, for the most part, said he began bringing pregnant women into the United States from the Marshall Islands in 2014. Peterson and his solo practicing law firm charged as much as $40,000 per adoption, placing the newborns with American parents, in many cases among the will of the foreign birth mothers. At the same time, Peterson was rubbing elbows with high-profile politicians. Okay, so this is a scandal that's breaking out today, or yesterday. So, so anyway, it's a big article, but I'm gonna include that in the link. And then there's another article that came out today about Arizona that I'm going to include in this. So apparently 550 children have been missing from the CPS system in Arizona. Okay, according to, I'm going to read this briefly. Okay, according to David Farnsworth, who is a Republican state senator who has represented Arizona's 16th district since 2013, Farnsworth is convinced, that Arizona children seized by CPS are now being trafficked, which would explain how 550 of them seemingly vanished without a trace last year, according to Farnsworth. Okay, he's from Mesa. So a field report with the Arizona Department of Public Safety this week accusing Senator Kate Brophy McGee, threatening him if he didn't stop investigating outrageous claims. The news was first reported by Yellow Street Report. Okay, Farnsworth told Yellow Street that he has been looking into how DCS lost more than 550 children last year, roughly half of whom are categorized as either runaways or either missing. The rest appear to be flagged for paperwork errors. He said he fears the children have been abducted and sold into global sex trafficking ring. And he said that he has been holding meetings with DCS, critics of the agency, and fellow lawmakers, including Brophy McKee. Okay, so Farnsworth acknowledged his beliefs were outlandish, but he said it's not a conspiracy theory, it's real. Okay, this human trafficking is real, people. Okay, these people they've been trafficking children for centuries. So, you know, let's just get into reality and realize that this is a very serious issue, and it's involving high-level senators and Congress people, and also the Masons, and many high-level people. And so the other thing I want to share tonight is a short video, but I'm going to include the links to these major articles that came out. But you know, there are people that have been executed. Okay, and John McCain was one of the first ones, and he was executed for treason, crimes against humanity, and other major offenses. They're being held in military tribunals at Guantanamo Bay, and they will be released when the time is right, you know, when they feel that the public can handle this information. Okay, so this is real. And Bush Sr. was also executed for the same basic things as McCain, and crimes against humanity and treason for 9/11 involvement. Okay, so, and there's more people that are going to be executed. And I just want to mention about this, that some of these people, you have to understand, because I was in a very unique situation to understand, and I worked with some of these people that were not normal in any way, shape, or form. And I fully believe that some of these people, including some of these people that have already been executed, I fully believe that some of these people are not fully human. I feel like they're hybrids, and what I've been told is that they have human bodies, but they don't have human souls. Well, they have reptilian souls. So it all goes back to the Area 51, the alien, conspiracy theory, where they started abducting people, and this is what I'm talking about. Okay. So when I first moved back from Arizona, when I first reported some of these things that I saw, when I first moved back from Arizona, I had to flee for my life pretty much after reporting what I reported at that base. Okay, so I moved back from there, fleeing for my life, and I'm just renting an apartment part time. And I started getting all these harassing phone calls and and one of them in particular stuck out to me, and they didn't even this. I'm gonna play this voicemail for you, and this voicemail to me does not even sound like it's human. It sounds like it's some kind of being or something. So let's see if I can play this. I'll play it on my phone, but okay. So we'll play this message for you tonight, and I personally was totally freaked out by this, and I'm gonna play this tonight. So you have to understand that some of these people that President Trump is going after are not fully human. They're part hybrid. They're mixes of human alien breeds that have been going on for centuries. There's been half breeding and things like this going on. So I'm gonna play these messages, and this guy was after me apparently at my apartment, and I totally freaked me out. He kept leaving me voice messages, and to me he didn't even sound human. So I'm gonna play these for you tonight. Okay, hold on. Just give him a second.
Call me back when you get this message.
Okay, that's the first one. It's really freaky, weird voice. And then the second one is, see, you have to understand. I mean, this is not normal.
Alright, you hung up on me. I'll be down there 2 o'clock. Same apartment, right? 16? See you then.
Okay, so I mean, if you got a voicemail like that, would you be freaked out? I mean, I had no idea who this guy was. He starts calling me, leaving me these weird messages. It doesn't even sound human to me. And so, you know, this is the kind of thing I've been going through. And it made me feel like, okay, there's something really, really extremely abnormal and wrong about this space in Arizona and what I uncovered and what I started uncovering. And, you know, it involves something really scary and demonic. And so, you know, you got to hear, I think, right now tonight, a voice of a hybrid. You know, some of these people are not normal, are not fully human. You know, that's why we have normal empathy and compassion for other humans. These people do not, because they have the soul of a reptilian or an alien. So they don't have the same compassion for normal human beings like you and I do. So that's what we're dealing with here is, you know, you think, oh, how could anybody do this kind of thing that they've done, you know, this human trafficking and these murdering. Well, you know, it's because they're not fully human. They're not fully human. They're hybrids. They're not like us. They are half demons, half human, and this has been happening. I did a lot of research on this personally, and I feel that this has been ever since the fall of the fallen angels. And if you look in the Bible, it talks about the Nephilim on the earth, and it talks about how they were giants and they you know, they pursued the women on the earth, but that doesn't mean necessarily that the women wanted to be with the fallen angels. They just pursued them and started wanting to be with them. It doesn't necessarily mean that the women were compliant. And they started breeding these half breeds of, you can look it up, it's in the book of Genesis. And they started breeding these half breed people, the Nephilim, started procreating with humans. And so I believe personally this is where all of this started. And so that's my personal opinion. But there's a lot of stuff coming out in Arizona. So, this is just a few. But these are major things that I want to share with you tonight. So I just wanted to upload this video tonight. But I personally believe that the fallen angels have procreated, and they half-breeded with the humans, and I personally believe that is what has created aliens. I don't believe that the aliens are from a different planet. I believe that they are half-breeds from these hybrids that have been created from the fallen angelics. Okay, so, there's been other videos on YouTube talking about this, but not that many people are talking about it. A lot of people still think, oh, aliens are from some other planet. I mean, really, don't you think by now that NASA would have found what planet they're from? After all these years, 20, 30 years of us studying different planets, don't you think by now they would have figured out what planet these aliens are from that are in these UFOs? Because they're not aliens. They're hybrids. They're interdimensional beings. Okay, so there needs to be a lot more research into this, and I believe there's a lot more things coming out. I myself have been watching things on History Channel where there thankfully is some things coming out where they are allowing people to come forward and with real experiences, real alien abductions, and real things like that. And they're very scary. This is very scary, and this is very real, and this needs to come forward. And I believe I don't believe that these people have any kind of good intentions on this earth. I believe that they're very bad intentions. So anyway, okay. So I'm going to just do this video, and I'll include those links. Thank you.